Hello, and welcome to the webinar covering the Agile Ticketing Update for version 6.19. We are very excited to introduce you to the significant benefits to the Agile Ticketing System. The first enhancement we are going to cover today is social distance seating. With this new feature, when customers or sales agents select seats for purchase, the system will automatically put the surrounding seats in a defined hold group. This makes sure that there's adequate space around all groups of customers so that they can follow social distancing guidelines. Let's take a look. There are a few settings we need to look at to make sure we have the proper distancing set up to meet requirements. First, we will look at our sections and determine what needs to be set for the spacing in front, behind, to the left, and to the right of the selection. Looking at section 103, we have already defined that we want to look one row in front, one row behind, and 2 seats to the left and right. Next, we need to look at our inventory group settings to make sure we have defined which hold inventory will be considered our social distance buffer. We will go to the settings and look at our inventory groups. We will pull up the buffer hold group and set the social distance buffer setting. While we are here, we are also going to take a look at some other changes we made in the inventory groups. For the default open inventory, we can set a sold image and an unavailable image. This will give customers a clear indication of which seats have people sitting in them and which are unavailable. With these specific images, customers can know exactly how far apart people are sitting from them in the venue. Now, let's go in and select some seats online. I will go to the event and pick which section I want to sit in. Already we can see that seats have been reserved in this section. We can clearly differentiate where people are sitting and that the seats around them are not available. I will select the 3 seats where I feel comfortable sitting and add those to my cart. If I go back to the seating chart and refresh it, I see that the seats surrounding mine have also been made unavailable. During the seating process, we now move any seats that meet the social distance buffer criteria, and we will move them from the default open inventory to the defined social distance buffer hold group. This makes those seats unavailable for other customers to choose. I'm going to go ahead and finish out this order, and we will look at it in order maintenance. I will go into order maintenance and pull up the last orders and find that order. I can pull up that section for maintenance. And I can add tickets to this order as long as I don't violate the buffer around the other ordered seats. So we'll find that these 3 seats are also clear of any other sold seats. So I can add more tickets to this order, and it will go ahead and add the buffer around those particular newly added seats. If I try to go add seats that are within the buffer criteria of other orders, it's not going to let me do it. A few other notes in regard to this new feature. When seats are removed from an order, the seats that were moved to the buffer hold will automatically get moved back to the default open inventory. Also, this process works with auto-assign tickets. The next enhancement we are going to cover today is our new online cross-sell and alerting options. With this new feature, we can provide a flexible mechanism to present other purchase options or a specific message to the customer when they buy specified items. This can be useful for many different scenarios. For example, we may want to provide a list of concession items to purchase if they purchase an admission ticket from the film folder. Or we may need to have some waiver text show if the customer attempts to purchase a certain ticket type. Or we may even want to provide a specific alert message when they buy a certain event. Let's take a look. We will go to the web folder and go to the entry points. I will open up the entry point group that we want to edit and go to the new Actions tab. Here we can define what action we want to occur and the matching criteria of when the action should occur. We will open up our concessions suggested cell. On the main tab, we give it a name. The description will be shown in the title of the message window. And we have the choice of 3 different types: attestation, cart notice, or suggested cell. With the suggested cell option, we can provide another purchase page to embed in the window, and the cart will be refreshed when they add items. With the cart notice, we can pop up an alert of some kind to the customer to give them important information after they add the item. With the attestation, the customer will see the message when they attempt to add quantity of matching items to their cart. We define the decline or close text for the window and message, and the acceptance text. For suggested cell, we can define the link of the purchase page we want to offer the customer. Below, we will define our triggers, which is our matching criteria. The trigger can be optional or required. If you have optional triggers, at least one of them has to match for the action to occur. If you have required triggers, all have to match for the action to occur. The next box is what we match against, which can be the item name, the price type, sales folder, sales line type, SKU name, or tier name. Then we define it if it is going to be an exact match with the is option, or just contains the specified value. Then we can drop down the last box in order to either find our item by clicking on the particular search option, or by just typing the value we want to match in the box. In this case, we are going to offer a suggested cell if the items to be purchased are in either the Film Agile, Film Other, or Music Rental folder. The HTML tab is also important, as this is where you can define the text and images to display at the top of the window. Let's take a look at this in action. I will purchase a film, add some tickets, and proceed to checkout. Since what I purchased was in the Film Agile folder, I will get the Concessions cross-sell window. We can see where my lead-in text is provided, and I can add items to cart. You will notice that we're utilizing our new inline purchase option where the price types are provided inline in the list. Once I'm done, I can close out this window and finish out my order. Let's look at another example of a special alert shown to the customer. In this case, we're going to set up an action that when they donate to the Give to the Agile Theater program, they will receive a special message. We will set up our default properties as shown, and our message will be set in the HTML tab. When we go to give to that particular donation program online, the customer will receive that alert once they hit the cart page. Let's take a look at another example of a waiver attestation when adding certain items. In this case, we're going to set up an action that when the customer tries to add quantity of beer or wine, they will get an attestation they must accept. We'll set up our default properties as shown. And the message defined in the HTML tab. And when we go to add one of those items, we will receive the alert right after choosing our quantity. We must click the Accept button to move forward with the add process. If we click the Decline button, the quantity is reset back to 0. The next enhancement we are going to cover today is with Concessions Fulfillment. This new feature will help to automate some of the processes at a concession stand to make prepping online concession orders easier. A point-of-sale terminal at the concession stand can be put into a mode where order receipts for concession items can automatically print out when they are within a specified time window of the event starting. Let's take a look. We can go to Support Functions, Fulfillment, and click on the new Auto Fulfillment option. We are presented with the new Auto Fulfillment options screen. We choose our delivery method of concession pickup, which is what all online concession orders go against. We define the frequency of checking for new orders. We can choose how many minutes before the event it will automatically print out those receipts. Then we can define the order receipt as well as what printers we need to print it out to. Now this station is set to automatically print concession receipts for orders 45 minutes before the show. Now from that receipt we can get the customer's name, the details of what is on the order, and start prepping their items for when they get to the theater. Also, this screen can be put into a more manual mode where we don't automatically fulfill the items and we just want to automatically refresh it periodically. We can set it to auto poll, again choosing that concession pickup and how frequently in minutes it's going to refresh. Now we can manually click on the ones we want to print and print those out as needed. The next enhancement we are going to cover today is a kiosk mode for gate control. This allows a point-of-sale terminal to be put into an unattended ticket scanning mode so tickets can be verified without close contact to the customer. Let's take a look. From our main sales screen, we will click on the gate control option. We can click on the new kiosk mode button. In order to lock down this mode, we have to put in a PIN code of 24601. And this must be entered anytime before you enter or exit this lockdown mode. That particular code is settable to whatever your organization wants in the system control area in the admin app, or can just be left blank. You will notice the scan your barcode area down here at the bottom. This can be changed to point up, down, left, right, or diagonally to each of the four corners in order to point to which way the scanner, where it's actually located. Now the customer will present their ticket underneath the scanner. And the results will be shown large on the screen. It will display the last results at the bottom until the next scan. If we scan an invalid ticket, we will see the red screen along with hearing an unhappy sound. If the barcode is not being read correctly, the customer can click on the manual entry button and enter it in manually. In order to exit this mode, we can click the escape key on the keyboard, or if there's not a keyboard, we can click the upper left, upper right, bottom left on the touchscreen in order to get to the escape mode, where we can type in our escape pin.